So next up is LostWinds: Winter of the Melodies.
Yeah, so this is a sequel to LostWinds that we liked a lot last time. It's a WiiWare game.
Yeah. So basically, it's so good. So in many ways, this is very, very similar to the first LostWinds. I mean, they took the same world. You've got the same mechanics of grabbing onto flowers, and the whole thing is that you're using wind to make shit happen. Like,
yes, it's kind of your standard platformer.
Yeah.
To solve puzzles, to do various things.
But in a very different, I mean, like kind of standard platform. But I mean, like it has the Wiimote interaction in a way that's very different than the games I've played before.
That's true. And the one thing we really liked about LostWinds originally was the fact that they used the Wiimote in such a natural, intuitive way. So instead of like you do move the guy for the most part, but to actually make him jump, you actually have to draw a line through him, and it just felt very natural, which they did a good job with.
So what this comes down to is that you're exploring this world, and they've added a couple new elements. So they've added this thing of going from winter to summer.
That's really
which is cool, because you'll see things like there's something you need to get, and it's frozen in ice. You're like, I need to come back to that once I've changed it back and forth. So you get to the point where you can use this bear totem. You go in front of the bear totem and call the bear god, and he switches it from summer to winter.
Yep.
So you can like pop around and change the seasons.
What was it? But there was some other element too, which I thought was only so. When you're in cold, the weird thing is like with LostWinds in the original one, I never had this sense of urgency. But in LostWinds, Winter of Melodias, when you're in the winter, you are cold. Obviously, I think this gets fixed later. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it doesn't go on very long.
But yeah, so you have to be around a flame to be able to stay alive. So at some point, you're like, oh crap, I want to like figure out if I can jump to this next level. Yeah. There's no flame there. Oh fuck, And then you go to
so you're running around from flame to flame to heat yourself back up. It's kind of like being underwater and having how much breath you have.
And it was interesting. I don't know if I liked it a lot, but I thought it was different.
I liked it because of how long they did it. They did it for like the first hour of the game, and then you get this suit where it keeps you warm and you don't ever worry about it anymore. But what's really cool is I also liked they sent you out with this monster in the beginning where he was assisting you up the side of this mountain, where he would pick you up and throw you, or he'd smash shit, or he'd like throw things around. Like they kind of amped up the size of the original LostWinds.
So the graphics really good. So didn't it kind of feel like Shadow of the Colossus, like back in the day?
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, like I was playing like I'm seriously, this guy was huge, and this is on a WiiWare game, which the sense of scale was impressive. The
problem is I've been playing for several hours after that, and he never comes back. So I think that it was kind of for like a big intro. They're like, check this out, and they're like, where'd that guy go? He was cool.
Can you make him do more stuff?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean the puzzles are really good. You do a lot of stuff with flame, with drawing flames to melt stuff or to burn things.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't spent as much time as I want to, but it feels like a good, and it feels longer to me.
It does. It does feel longer, and there's a little bit less of the bullshit running back and forth elements there was in the first one, but I do have some complaints.
Oh yeah, we really bitched about that.
Yeah, because there was a lot of run back and forth.
We're saying like, oh yeah, this is about an 8-hour game, or sorry, it's a 4-hour game, but it's really just 2 hours because you're just doing the same levels over and over.
Running back and forth. That's seriously what it felt like.
They fixed that.
So this one they made a lot more. They made a lot more jumping. Like in the other one, you'd kind of grab onto stuff and you'd fly around, but this one there's a lot of triple jumps that you have to make. And there was a lot of times where I was just like, all right, I get it, but I kind of want a jump button.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where I'm running and it's just like there's this ledge and there's this ledge and there's this ledge and there's this ledge, and you're like, foot, because there's always like 3 to get, because they're like really far apart. So you can do 3 gusts. So like you get to these things where it's like to get to the top, from the top to the bottom, I was doing this gesture and doing this gesture. I was like, all right, guys, come on. Like,
you made it 2? Could you made it 1? I had the exact same feeling, because I would mess up and then I would go down and have to redo it again. It's just like, this doesn't make any sense.
Right, because the fun part is the other stuff. It's not the just jump from ledge A to ledge B. So to make that kind of tedious was a mistake on their part.
Interesting. And I think they should really look at what Nick's Quest did, because the thing is, like, you have to compare the two, right?
Everyone should look at what Nick's Quest did. That game is the shit.
You look at these; they're both WiiWare games. They both use the Wiimote in interesting ways, but Nick's Quest. And Nick's Quest is not as pretty as LostWinds. They put a lot of artists on LostWinds, right?
That's right.
But the pure gameplay aspect of like making your brain hurt because you're doing all these things like in time, as opposed to like that, you got to give some marks to it. But it's still a good game. It's like $10, right?
It is good. So I mean, like when you're looking at those WiiWare games, I'm still saying, I mean, Nick's Quest is still better.
It's still really good.
Like Nick's Quest for platforming, I have yet to see a WiiWare game better. Like that's my favorite.
Even like
platforming.
DS games, like
even
it rivals a lot of DS games.
It is fucking awesome. But this is good. This is a little bit better than the first Lost Ones, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because with Lost Ones we didn't even finish. I mean, this one I can see you probably.
I can see that I might finish this one.
Yeah.
So so it's good.
Yeah. Boop.